what a lot of people do when they're trying to sell you Agile or talk about Agile is try and contrast it with the waterfall technique or a waterfall approach. So where you've got something like analysis, design, build, test, implement, something very, very serial. And if you're building a bridge, you might actually find this could be, a standard way of sort of working. A lot of project management uses the waterfall approach and has from sort of day one. But Agile looks at it differently, but not totally differently. So if you like, Agile is still using the waterfall, but they're actually like mini waterfalls. We don't try and do 2 months on analysis, 3 months on design, 4 months on build. We try and think, let's try and take something that we can deliver early and try and do a sort of mini waterfall. But not only that, a sort of idea of overlapping these waterfalls. So if you like, trying to create this iterative and incremental sort of way of working. And this iterative and incremental is fundamental concept in Agile. It's iterative, incremental, bit by bit by bit. And this is why when you look at certain projects, you might say, well, yeah, it's a website, yeah, that's really easy to do. It's a marketing campaign, yeah, that's really easy to do. It's a bridge. Now, delivering a bridge incrementally might be a little bit tricky, okay? It could be, if you're using iterative and incremental and you're using Agile, you would actually go with a 90% solution. So, we've got 90% of the features up on the website, yeah, that's good to go. Whereas if the bridge only gets 90% of the way across, it might be rendered, next to useless, okay? Having said that, and I'm not trying to name drop, but I was out in China about 2 months ago and I was saying you wouldn't really build a bridge incrementally. And this hand came up and goes, well, we're building a lot of bridges out here at the moment and that's how we build them. I goes, what are you on about? And he was telling me that they build one lane over to get some of the traffic going, then they build the second lane to get more traffic over, and he then started talking about clipping a third and fourth lane on so they actually can build a bridge. Because one of the points being here, and the diagram is showing it up there, you can get some early delivery of something far sooner than you can with the waterfall approach. And one of the things we've got in this day and age, we're all using these things now and digital, internet, the whole thing. We're in a very much an on-demand sort of society now. We want it quick, we want it now. Time to market. The word time, I think you find, is one of the biggest single drivers for this whole Agile movement. When I was little, we could spend 2 years on a feasibility study. We can't do that anymore. So this idea of I want it now, early, if we can deliver stuff, we've got something we can use and we can play with. Okay? So the contrast is waterfall against iterative and incremental. But it is a bit lazy just to keep sort of maligning the waterfall approach. Because one thing I would try and sort of get across to you is that, I believe that Agile is the best place to get to. That's really where we want to be. But if it's on a sort of sliding scale, waterfall might be about here, in my opinion, on a sort of, let's say you're trying to work in certain ways. You're trying to get the needle to go that way as much as you can. But there's something over here called fragile Agile, and that's very dangerous. That's when we just duck and dive and it'll be all right on the night and we throw away lots of discipline. A lot of Agile is about being literally agile, fleet of foot, pragmatic, but sometimes people see pragmatism as let's not bother documenting and let's just get going and let's not bother testing it. That's what I call fragile Agile. Waterfall is a bit slow, but this is far more dangerous. Unstructured Agile can get you into a lot of mess. I've seen some huge failures in Agile, quite simply because, and I can't say any more simply than this, project management basics were just ignored, completely ignored. And on this basis, we're Agile. Hey, we don't need this, we're Agile. Well, I've seen a lot of things drive off a cliff because of this, okay? So, waterfall and Agile, quite fundamental contrast there.